miss. I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love
it. Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today, and we've got a fun night. A lot of crazy shit going on in the NFL. We've got a little bit of a interest in UFC this weekend. We've got a pay-per-view tomorrow night. But one thing that we usually do at the end that I actually want to start with today is letting you guys know, like, what we're trying to do with this whole thing, because I don't think we've talked about it enough, Jimmer. And I'm throwing you for a loop. I'm literally just winging this right now. But one thing that I don't think we talk about enough is the fact that we try to give you guys an unbiased perspective on everything that's going on in the sports world.
These lying-ass Vikings fans, it is 100% biased.
With the exception of our favorite teams, right? And that's the same thing for the Cowboys, too. But we don't have anybody telling us what to say. You can do this. You can't do that. Make sure you focus on this. I mean, I was just listening to, and this is definitely going to be a stab, but I was just listening to Skip and Shannon today. And a few weeks back when the whole Aaron Rodgers thing happened, Shannon was dogging him like hell because that was the hot topic. Well, now he's back to he's the best quarterback in the league and nobody can touch him and everything else. Like, he didn't just say everything that he just said. It's you have to say what you're told to say when you're told to say it. And we don't have that. We don't have to worry about that. We're going to give you the truth. And quite frankly, we've called out a lot of things this year before anybody else did. And it's because we're just going off of what we know about sports.
Because we're that accurate, baby.
We are that accurate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never wrong.
Never.
So for those of you that are tired of listening to the same shit every day on the different things like Sports Center and things like that, where you hear the exact same storyline, make sure you tune in as much as you can. We like to entertain too. We talk shit and we do dog on each other, but I think that's part of the fun with it because that's actually how we treat each other in real life. Sometimes worse. Sometimes worse.
Right. Like, I'm not
just
an asshole on air.
There's a lot less sodomy on
I'm
the show.
I'm also an asshole to these guys, believe it or not, when we're not recording. So.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah.
But my whole point is, if you guys enjoy the show, we want to get more people tuned in to hear kind of our thoughts and get a different perspective on what's going on. So we appreciate you listening today, but at the same time, share it out, let people know about it, and hopefully we can get more people involved and ultimately get your perspectives too. We're going to do a lot more interviews over the next year, and at this point, there's no real criteria. It's just going to be, all right, who do we want to talk to? Who do we want to hear from and things like that. So, but I just wanted to get that plug in at the beginning of the show instead of the end. So per the usual, Jimmer, what's going on out there, man?
Let's see. Raiders-Browns NFL game has been moved to Monday, 4 p.m. Central Standard, as well as Seahawks-Rams and Washington Eagles, who have been moved to Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time due to the COVID uptick, which we'll just go ahead and get this out of the way because I didn't type any part of this other part up for you, and I could. It would just take me 3 days to do it. Every sports league and every university is dealing with a mass uptick in COVID, so it is affecting facilities getting shut down, cancellation of games, movements of the games. Chris just told me, I knew that one of them, I didn't know the team, but I think you said the Toronto.
Yeah. They are like no
Maple
fans
Leafs, no fans in the stands.
Restriction on fans, whatever it is. They're already going back to what we did last year.
And and then obviously a lot of players missing in the NFL and NBA that are on protocol too. So we'll tie that one, and then we'll get your opinion. We'll tie that one to the NBA the NBA is trying to defend itself against the wave of positive COVID-19 cases in recent weeks. by doing more increased daily testing and face mask use for players and staff through the holiday season.
Yeah, I get it. Everybody trying to be with their family, right?
Do they know that there's fantasy football playoffs going on right now?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
come
come
on,
on.
people.
Come on, guys.
Come on, man.
I think that's why they're still having it instead of, you know what I mean? Like, we got to make this money over here, too, on
Well,
the
I was
fantasy
gonna say,
side.
this is me, like, setting the platter up for you. You had something you had to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Or are you going to do that right? Are you going to do that now, or is that your...
No, we'll do it later.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll touch
Okay.
on it later.
Isaiah Thomas has signed a 10-day contract with the Lakers.
Yeah, I seen him balled out, and I knew it was coming as soon as he put up that crazy stat line in the G League or whatever
Yeah,
the
42
Yeah.
points or something.
heck. Knew it was coming. Just, I don't know what happened to that guy. He had
Well,
incredible run in Boston, and then just kind of
what's still shocking is the fact that how was he not on a roster anyway before this?
right.
Yeah. He's
He
a
could
good
score the
player.
rock, so why you're telling me he can't fill someone's bench and come up off the bench as I just don't get it. I understand he's only like 5'8" or whatever the hell he is, but the
Still.
dude can pour him in.
Yeah.
You know, and he always has been able to. He's always been a defensive liability, even in his quote unquote like couple year hot streak, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player. I don't know how well it's going to go in L.A. Nothing is meshing very well there now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the key. Maybe he, gives a little spark. I don't think so, but it's something, right? You got to
Hey,
try
they-
and
they
give the
won-
guy a shot.
they
Like you
won the
said,
other
he's
night
good.
on a
Buzzer
game-winning 3-pointer by Austin Reeves in the corner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how you stay around 500. You win one game, you lose the next game. You win one game, so I don't
No.
know.
Yeah.
Don't know
Don't know if you knew that.
since we're on the Lakers, they've won one game this year by over 10 points.
That's crazy.
If you were to guess, who was that team?
It's probably the
Who?
Warriors.
It's in the West, and they're terrible.
No,
Minnesota.
The
No.
Rockets.
Rockets.
Yeah.
Minnesota's actually been hovering
They've been
just a couple
decent.
games below 500, I think.
Yeah.
Which is about where they start, and then they finish off really bad usually, if you ever watch Timberwolves. The Brooklyn Nets are bringing back all-star guard Kyrie Irving as a part-time player for games outside of New York. Injuries, players lost to hell, safety protocols, and huge minutes loaded onto their superstar players led to the team to do this move.
Yeah, that's crazy to think, because our job certainly wouldn't let us be part-timers and pay us the full salary, right?
Yeah.
So, definitely weird. Like I said, I thought he'd be traded, and especially with the whole Ben Simmons thing, I thought that was a shoe-in trade. Why not? And who knows now? But yeah.
Well, he's been getting paid the whole time. It's not
Yeah.
like he wasn't getting paid. So, I think the big thing for them is KD.
Because they decided to shelf him for the other half of the game. So
Mhm.
he wasn't allowed to play in New York
Right.
because he's unvaccinated. And the other half of the games, that was the Nets just keeping him away more than
Yeah.
anything. So now it's like, hold on, we're down to our seventh stringers, and the water boy may have to step in. Okay, you can come and play at least road games with us. Well,
Yeah.
I think KD just played like a ridiculous amount of minutes just like last night or the night before.
Well, he's averaging 37 a game.
Oh, no.
Which is
That's what
a
LeBron
lot
was
for him.
averaging his whole life. So.
Agreed, but it's a lot for KD. So he's carrying the load for them, and I think more than anything, that's what they're worried about is him wearing down. through the stretch.
I'm wondering how this is gonna work in the locker room, because some of these players were talking some shit, or coded shit, I should say. Like they were like talking, coded about it, like KD was especially. Basically, and everyone calling him greedy because of his life choice, right? How he's gonna be perceived in the locker room, like, hey, we hated you because you weren't with us, but we really need you now. Like, I don't know how well that's going to go. Or if he steps on the court and he ends up... Because we all know Kyrie is also injury prone, right?
Yeah.
He steps on the court. He hasn't been playing competitive basketball all year, right? So,
Yeah,
I
he
don't know
can.
if he's going to last much longer himself. So, this year.
He's practicing with the team. They
Has he
let him.
been?
Yeah, they let him do that. They said no at first, but then they said, okay, you can practice with the team. Of the road games they have left, there's only 2 places he can't go to play, and that's in New York at the Knicks and Toronto. So he'd be able to play all the rest of the road games. And something I started to kind of play around with in my head was, we talked a lot about Ben Simmons for Dame. What if, Brooklyn's like, hey, we want to prove this guy he's still got it and he's still got some value.
And you shoot him over to Blazers?
And bring over Dame. Yeah.
It wouldn't be enough for the Blazers.
Oh, you don't think so?
Oh, no. No. It would have to attach a couple picks with it and maybe another player. Yes. Kyrie hasn't proven that.
Maybe, but if you think about it, they're bringing in a new GM and new front office, and they're thinking we were not going to give him this big contract, so let's just start fresh.
Yeah, but that isn't starting fresh with Kyrie. You'd still have to get picks. That's what starting fresh is. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying starting fresh with your.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like it would have to involve at least a pick. I guarantee that it wouldn't be a player for player, not in that one. Kyrie's proven that he can't win without other pieces. So you're grabbing. Dame has proven that he can win and put you in an 8 seed at least for the most part by himself. He has some smaller pieces, but you know what I'm getting at. Kyrie's not that.
All right, so throw in a pick.
And he's always injured.
They do it, though?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they would do it. I'm not saying they won't do it. What I'm saying is there would have to be a pick involved, at least a pick.
Right, whatever the
for
final details, but like just for
pick. Yeah. I
player for player.
No, I could see that though. I could see that swap. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, it was just one. I mean, at first in my head, I'm just like, maybe they're just trying to show he's still got value and try to get something for him. Mm-hmm. And then that was the first thing that popped in my head because we've talked about Dame so much.
Doesn't that just show that franchise's stupidity though? Like, why'd you wait that long for that? Then you could have got this done way sooner. Like, cause he wasn't not allowed or whatever to go on the road before.
Right.
You could have had him logging minutes and also kept him healthy whenever you're at home because he can't play. Yep. So that would increase it too, right? I mean,
yeah, he might be able to play the full season then, right?
Exactly.
All road games.
Yeah.
Imagine the headache though in the playoffs. This man is only going to play road games in the playoffs like that.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to be the home team throughout.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, I like it. Yeah. I think that could be a legit thing. Yep. Let's see. This is a big boy. The Jaguars have officially fired head coach Urban Meyer. It was done at like 12:30 at night, by the way.
I was going to say, that was late at night or early in the morning. And we saw it coming, right? Like it was just, especially after the whole kicker thing. That was the final nail.
We've been calling this for so long, right? The
all
beginning of the season, all year long.
Yeah.
Beginning of the season, before the season even kicked off. And then that first game looked like dog shit, right?
I didn't even care about that.
No, I'm just saying that was like that. I was like, God, this looks really, really bad. And then all the other stuff. So
right. I'm just saying for myself, I was like, okay, whatever. First game, you got a rookie quarterback. You're walking out there, right?
Yep.
And
but it was the other stuff. So I wasn't even talking about that. It was like they had like 13 before play penalties.
Yeah,
like just unorganized. It looked that's what I meant by it. Not like not the actual play because you're still working out a rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Hilarious story, and this is another fantasy footballer story. But one of the guys on there hates Urban Meyer just as much as me, right? And so he was talking about Urban Meyer got interviewed by a reporter and asked why so-and-so was getting bumped up in minutes. Do you feel like he's going to play a lot more?
I think I saw this.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe a quarterback?
It was a defensive player. It was like, don't you think he should get more minutes or time on the playing field, more snaps on the playing field?
Yeah, and Urban's like, oh, yeah. Well, I don't know exactly how much more he's been playing, but I'll check that out or, something like that.
Yeah, he's like he had more snaps. He's like, I don't know the exact number of snaps, but he had more snaps than he did last week, and he played
0. He didn't know anything.
Yeah, he didn't know anything.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's just the MO. So his laundry. We'll touch on. He said so. Daryl Bevel, their offense coordinator, will serve as the interim head coach for the remainder of the season. GM Trent Baalke will remain in place. Their owner said. Want to go over his list of no-nos from the start of his.
Do we have time?
Oh, we have. I think we'll find time here. All right, number 1. Hired ex-Iowa strength and conditioning coach who was accused of racist remarks and bullying black players. That was his first to do.
Nice.
Let's see. Signed Tim Tebow to be a tight end, which he had never played, and eventually cut him.
That still cracks me up.
Come on. He's just trying to fill the seats.
Over other, maybe, but he signed him as a quarterback, like a 4th-string quarterback then. It's something he has played.
Right.
Let's see. Jaguars fined $200,000 and Myers $100,000 for excessive contact in OTAs.
Was that with the blonde-haired lady in London? Excessive contact?
Ooh. Jaguars investigated in August after Meyer said vaccination status would play a part in roster cuts. Lap dance video with idle hands.
Yeah.
Calling assistant coaches losers and questioning their resume. Talk shit about the wide receivers. Kick the kicker.
Kick to kicker.
Kick the kicker. And he had like a few other odds and ends that we didn't think about, like that I didn't type on here either. Just like about game stuff itself. So actually, game one was brought up in that because of all the pre-snap penalties and how fumbled it looked. It looked like shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was another one, him not knowing the time. You brought up one of them. I didn't know about that one, but the one where he didn't know about James Robinson not being on the field.
Yeah.
That he only had 5 carries. That happened multiple times this year. That happened in the first game too, which I didn't realize. He only had 5 carries in that game.
Yeah. Yep. There were a few that was,
So,
if not 5, like they were split when they never should have been.
Yeah.
You know.
So I totally forgot about this too, and this is prior to Jacksonville. By the way, you guys remember why he left Ohio State, right? I didn't, so I'm going to remind you.
I don't remember.
So you guys remember his assistant coach or whatever it was, the domestic abuse, like was whooping his chick on a regular basis.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Urban knew about it and
Yeah.
kept him employed.
Yeah, because
Come to find
that
out.
dude and they got into
Smith.
it, Tom. Yeah, and they got into it with, I remember, Tom Herman, because Tom Herman was part of the staff. And, yeah, there's a whole big thing off on that tangent, too. But I remember that guy now, yeah.
Yeah. So this stuff kind of just follows him, right?
I think, he just thinks so used to the college scene, and you can control pretty much everybody and everything. You got the keys to everybody's future pretty much there.
Mm-hmm.
And the NFL is not like that.
Not even close.
No,
Yeah.
grown-ass men.
Yeah.
And they're getting paid more than you. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says owner Dan Snyder did not hinder investigation of the Washington football team. Didn't happen.
Must he's got pictures.
He said that
His
he
wife
did
or
that
something.
he did not prevent that person from talking to that assistant district attorney.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Nope. I believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I want to see this. I want to see the Zapruder film.
Yeah, come on.
There's something.
Come on.
Like, at this point, I think we talked off air, right? At this point, he's not defending Dan Snyder. He's defending himself now. There's something going on here.
Yeah, come on.
Where you're definitely in the emails. That's for damn certain. Otherwise, those would have been released, right?
Yep.
Lord knows what else. Like, maybe he had a few too many drinks one night and
Right. It's just all about who you
been one of
know.
those lady boys.
It's all about who
Up
you
to the
know,
hotel.
man. Because
Right.
Robert Kraft can get a rub and tug with Deshaun Watson.
Nope.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, just so you know, he said he did not try to deter the investigation. Let's see what else we got. Jake Paul said Thursday that there's a 100% chance he will one day compete in MMA. Paul added that he has already discussed going to train in the sport at American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose, California, under coach Javier Mendez and all-time great UFC champion Khabib Nurmagomedov. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That wasn't bad.
That
Yeah.
wasn't bad.
I hope
What do you got, MMA
I
guy?
hope Tyrone Woodley just knocks him the fuck out now.
He ain't gonna do it because it brings money.
What's the
He
clause?
might now.
No, as soon as he loses, Jake Paul's dead, right?
Yep.
The intriguing thing that keeps selling tickets is people want to see him get beat. Once he gets beat, it's done.
What is the?
I don't think you already called on the last one, and it's gonna continue that way.
So here's my thinking. Tyrone Woodley's old.
He's like, I'm done after this one anyway.
Right,
so.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. He can just go out and say he knocked out Jake
Unless
Paul.
it's in the contract, as in you don't get any of this money if you do knock me
Well,
out.
sure, maybe.
No,
but-
that's what I was gonna say. So
But even then, maybe he just goes.
Like
Why
this
not?
is what you get for me getting a tattoo.
He didn't. Did you see it was fake?
It was fake.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because there's no way. You won't drink a bottle, or what was it? You won't say Big Daddy Jimmer is always right.
Because he's not, first off.
Yeah. I'll never doubt you again. And you would slug a full bottle of whiskey instead. But this guy would have gotten a tattoo of another man's name on him.
Yeah.
That shit would never have happened. I don't care if I made the bet or not.
Right. It's
That I will be
like
that will
taking
not get
another
paid.
dude's last name if you marry a chick. There's just some things you won't do.
Danny, have you ever thought about that?
So,
Danny
we've talked about
Logan?
this before. No. 0 chance.
Hold on, that isn't even the women's. They shouldn't say that even. It's
It's
that's so bad. It's the ex-husband.
It's the ex-husband's
last name.
last name.
Yeah.
Not happening?
I don't get it. No. Nope.
It's for the children,
Yeah.
so they won't be confused.
Nope.
All right.
No. What I was going to say was in that fight, Jake Paul offered him $500K if he can knock him out. So he's giving him a bonus
For
if he
doing it?
wins by knocking him out. Yeah.
Oh.
So apparently he's pretty pissed that everybody called the last fight bogus, which
Yep.
it was. So literally he offered him, okay, you're getting $500K extra if you knock me out.
Why would
Where's the proof of this contract? Did he show a picture of it?
This is verbal. So who
Is it
knows?
verbal? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Who knows? But if I was Woodley, especially he's older, he's not going to get many fights elsewhere, Yeah, why not? Go.
Just
At least
drop
people
him.
are going to definitely remember you.
Oh yeah, that and YouTube, dude. You get paid from YouTube from all the replays.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's going to be able to tour around the country getting interviewed because he finally knocked his ass out. Somebody
Yeah,
did
he'll
it.
get
So he's like
paid.
a hero, Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for shutting him up. Texas Longhorns quarterback Casey Thompson, who started 10 games in Coach Sarkisian's first season, is in the transfer portal. Thompson began the season as the backup behind Hudson Card, eventually claiming the starting job. He threw for 2,100 yards and 24 touchdowns. Tops in the Big 12, so I don't want to hear you say shit about the Iowa quarterbacks over there.
Tops in the Big 12.
Right, that means you had a quarterback to throw to your receivers. We did not, to our stud receivers.
That's crazy. And when our running back put up just about, if not
No,
more,
he didn't.
what,
Don't
you got to
count.
beat by like 40 yards, I think.
Is he still beat?
And it was less games.
So he was built better, stronger,
And he had
could-
less games.
and he could withstand a beating
And he had less
in the
games.
Big Ten where they play defense and actually hit people.
And he had less games.
Is that what you're talking about? I'm confused.
Just
Not
saying,
only-
his yards per carry is still even better.
Oh man, is it? Oh,
Not only less games, they didn't play half of most of the games they played, right? They
Right.
decided to only play in the first half.
right,
and then
5
they'd
and
just be
7,
done.
right? Yeah. So
1 through 3 quarters.
Okay, 3/4 a game.
Yeah, 3
so-
quarters a game. That's it. And then,
Yeah.
then the fourth quarter, nobody come out. So what you're trying to say is impressive.
Nah.
Kate.
Nah.
But back to the Casey Thompson.
So yeah, with Quinn Ewers coming in and Malik Murphy coming in, I saw this coming. One, not if not both of them, Hudson Card as well, leaving. Sark's just kind of revamping the roster.
He wants his
guys.
quarterback.
Yep. The ones he wants in there, all his guys. Texas had a real nice recruiting class. Flipped some guys, big guys in the trenches. In the running for the number 1 offensive guard, interior guard in the country, which he'll announce later in January. That must be when the All-American game is.
Which we don't get, and we still
So-
have better offense and defense line.
No, see, I told you what my theory was, right? That y'all get actually 4 and 5 stars. Them stars they're dropping, they shouldn't. Y'all's development isn't actually as good as you think.
Oh, okay.
Y'all are just signing the 4 and 5 stars are legit that are coming there. It's
That's
not
what it
development.
is. That's what it is.
Yeah. So
Seen this.
it'll be interesting to see where he goes because his brother used to be at OU, transferred to Utah, and as a quarterback, and is now in the NFL as a cornerback. His dad played at OU, and with Caleb Williams there, you're not going to OU and beating out him. I don't think as a quarterback. So it'd be interesting to see where he goes. And paves his own way. So
Iowa?
interesting. You'll need a quarter. Hey, you need a quarterback, so why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did want to touch on a different thing before that. I forgot to say that.
It's over here under the desk.
Yeah, no. Or we'll do it after the news. How about that? Not touching that, but
How about that? I'll just have to move the camera. So
Right, yeah.
That's for our premium subscribers, guys.
Premium.
Right.
3 gigs
3
after
gigs
dark.
after dark.
For those 17% female listeners. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Right.
Or whatever, they all pay the same, right? Wide receiver Vincent Jackson, who died earlier this year, has been officially diagnosed with stage 2 CTE.
Yeah.
Which I think we kind of knew, but he had donated his brain for research, and they did find stage 2. Same thing that other cat had.
Yeah. You know, I think we touched on it the other night. It's crazy that we can't see this sooner or have a test done, you know, and see if you're getting brain damage and whatnot, because I don't know if it's entirely preventable. But
not unless you just don't play
football,
right?
without not playing football. But to be able to maybe see and recommend that people don't play, or after you get to a certain point, maybe, hey, you're gonna have to call it quits because this is not good for your long-term health.
Yep.
Yeah, just a shame.
You got anything on that?
No, I was just thinking along the same lines. Like, they're trying to improve the helmets and do different things like that to help it, but I think ultimately, as long as your neck's moving and it can rattle your brain around the helmet, it matters, but it doesn't matter, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And the speed, the way football's, the speed, and
so
all the
fast.
athletes are just faster, bigger, stronger. It's just unavoidable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You know what does help? Adding an extra game.
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
17th game will definitely do that, right? He'll take the chance of getting some more brain damage.
At the same time, though, I mean, you know that's a risk, and it's a choice that you're putting in return for a paycheck.
But that's what I do agree with you, but I don't agree with us. There shouldn't have been a 17th game.
Oh no.
So that's what I'm getting at. There should never been a 17th game. You should have cut the preseason games too, probably. But that is usually for the guys that are trying to make the team, so that they're not going to take as big a punishment. You know, not through a 17-game gauntlet plus playoffs or 16 game.
Yeah, I didn't think the 17 game was right.
No,
not at all.
Especially when you're trying to say that safety is the utmost.
Right.
You know, like you can't. I'm sorry, you can't have both. It's like you can't run max speed and be safe. You can't do it. That's in everyday life, by the way. Get yourself a piece of that, because I've also heard that at my place of employment. You can run it redline to everything that you're running as fast as you can, but you can be 100% safe. I'm like, no, you cannot.
Nope.
You cannot be 100% safe and be maxing something out. You can't. It's not technically safe while you're doing that. I'm not saying you can't roll the dice.
Just because you think it's unsafe
doesn't what?
Doesn't mean it's actually unsafe.
See?
Makes
Heard
sense
that.
if you don't think
Makes
about
sense.
Taking it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
I
think
that's what I was getting at. But I think they need to, like, for things like that, to build off of what you're saying, I think you actually need to, and this would help other players too, and it helps the financial side of it for players, have bigger rosters. Maybe you even have to put like a snap count, like you are only allowed to have, like, and this would suck for NFL records, I guess, stuff like that. But is that your long-term health or not? But hey, as a quarterback, you only can take, I don't know what the snap count normally goes for. So let's say you have 600 pass attempts. That gets trimmed down. You're only allowed 500 pass attempts, because the chances of you getting popped off of a handoff is pretty slim, right? No. So we're going by pure pass attempts.
Well, see,
I don't know if with the
next-gen stats and everything we have going on nowadays, you can't tell me we can't put something in the helmet. Okay, we got hit with this amount of force. So no matter if you got up and you look fine, you need to go sit your ass on the sidelines for a quarter or whatever it is.
Whatever it is. Yeah, absolutely. But then, and able to do that because you get a lot of hits, you would have to increase the roster sizes too, right? Because you could have, we had back-to-back plays of the Monday Night Football game, which I'll be getting to here in a second. Back-to-back plays where 2 wide receivers went down, or a wide receiver and then a tight end. And then it was like the very next series for that same team, a wide receiver went down again. So they were dropping like flies. So you need a bigger roster is what I'm getting at too.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Kenny Pickett has declared for the NFL draft and will forego the Chick-fil-A Bowl against Michigan State, as well as Kenneth Walker III, who will do the exact same thing.
Yep, same game and everything. It's
Both huge though, so they're both like hit their main offense, right?
Yeah.
For their respective teams. So
Yep. And if you are listening to this, you're only going to hear more and more about this, especially if they expand the college football playoff. I mean, even right now, like the only bowl that matters is if you're in the college football playoff. If you're not, nobody
who cares?
right?
Right.
So I don't know. We're only going to see more, and it's good for them. Again, we've talked about this a million times, but it does suck to watch. Then you're like, the talent's gone. Like, what the hell am I doing? I don't know.
yeah, no, it sucks to watch and everything like that, but it also gets to what touched on what we just said. They play in a bowl to get someone else rich. This is a New Year's Day 6 game, I do believe. Right? I think it's one of the big boys.
Most likely.
It was the ACC champion, and then
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, it was up there, so it was a legit bowl. So, but it also goes into you're putting yourself at risk for not a natty championship, for millions of dollars for your university, for a possibility of injuring yourself before you go on to the next level, which could be career threatening depending on what it is too. It isn't like you're gonna remember. Maybe the fans will remember that. Like, and I barely remember that. I barely remember the Iowa bowl games. They're not that big a deal unless it is the national championship, right? Do we conversate about who has the most Alamo Bowl victories?
Right.
Like that isn't a conversation, people. We don't talk about the Orange Bowl unless it was part of one of the national championship games. We don't talk about that. Whenever we talk about bowl games and records, we have to literally look it up every time.
Yep.
Right?
No,
So at the end of the day, I mean, it sucks for fans, but I completely agree with when they do this. I really do.
hell yeah.
I had a
As long as the
conversation.
coaches can bail, they can bail.
I had a conversation with somebody about this at work too. Someone that isn't part of general social media or watching TV or movies anyway, but just in general, this is the only thing he really does is that. And man, it really sucks. He was talking about like the Tyler Goodson one. I'm like, more power to all of them. Well, what do you mean? That sucks. I'm like, first off, you should be kind of happy to a certain extent. First off, it's a bowl that blah. But number two, you get to see what you have behind, and that gives you a taste of what next season could bring. We get to see so if Hudson Card is leaving, oh, you guys aren't in a bowl. That's right. We can't have this conversation.
Exactly. But talk about the year before, though, when we beat Colorado. Casey Thompson stepped in after seeing him injure himself, hyped up the fans for the next season. Ultimately, of course, it didn't go that great, but
he had the stats, and he showed that he could do something. It shows you what you have next year.
Got your fans excited.
It shows us what we have for running back next year. We had a taste of Gavin Williams this year, but but we could end up seeing LaShawn Williams, which a guy that I'm high on, I do believe, from Illinois. So, but my point is, you get to see these guys. You get to see what you actually have for next year. So you actually, if you're a true fan of your university, you should be excited to see what's stepping up then. What do you got for next year then? You get a taste of it before next year.
Well, and thinking of the Hawkeyes specifically, that's a skill position offensive player that's going to go to the NFL. That
That's
doesn't
exciting.
happen. Yeah,
exactly. That's
awesome.
exciting. I
let's
was like,
go.
you should be excited about that.
Yeah, this isn't our center or a left
Our,
guard.
hold on, our center is going to the NFL as
No,
a first round pick. Let's make that very
in this
clear.
conversation.
Yeah,
you
I know what you're saying.
Like that shit doesn't happen. So.
Running back, he'll be on a practice squad eventually in like 2 years.
Let's not say dumb shit. He's better than any running back that's came out of there of recent memory, and they're on the NFL rosters. So,
yep.
Calm down.
When
Who
you guys-
do you got as a running back in the NFL playing right now?
What are you talking about? Old boy was just leading for the Titans. Who's running?
Oh,
back?
get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Deontay Foreman.
Let's go,
who didn't have a
baby.
job.
Let's
Oh,
go.
my God.
Doesn't matter. He's
That's
a
what you're
starter.
bringing to that?
He's a starter.
Oh,
He
my
is the
God.
starter.
Shut up.
Starter, baby.
Shut up.
Starter.
Before that,
Starter.
get that
Doesn't
one out of
matter.
there. Get that one
Starter.
out of there. You don't have another one.
Starter.
You don't have another one.
I am trying to think.
I don't know if you do or not, but if you can't think of it off the top of your head, you don't have one. That's my point. I can name the running backs that are in there.
Right. Chris Warren, he's on a practice squad. All your boys are not starting on NFL roster.
They may not be starting.
Practice squad players.
No, not practice squad. So if you're a backup, you're practice squad.
Who's
that what it
backing
is?
up who?
I'll look him up. I know.
Rip it off right now.
I know Akram Wadley, but he
was on the practice
He went
squad.
IR.
Are we only talking about
He
running
was on the
backs?
practice squad.
Huh?
Are we only talking about running backs, or we just?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't want to talk linemen. That's for damn sure.
I was gonna say tight end
or tight ends.
Yeah.
You want to ball that route?
Doesn't matter. You already know I don't.
You already know I don't. He's no shame in my game. On to the next one. The Golden State Warriors and All-Star guard Klay Thompson are targeting a January return with key dates looming on January 9th against the Cavs and the 18th against the Pistons, both at home. Cavs aren't exactly, I don't know if you've been paying attention, aren't exactly
Not
a pushover.
bad. Yeah.
Detroit is still Detroit, though. So
I think
let's make that.
Detroit's lost 14 straight at this point.
Who?
So, yeah, they're awful.
But Cleveland, I was shocked by that. I really was.
Yeah, I was about to make some NBA bets the other night, and I was like, why are they favored?
Yeah, why are they favored, or why are they only 1 point? That Darius Garland is looking like a stud.
Yeah.
I kind of alluded to this a little bit, but Chargers tight end David Parham Jr. was stretchered off field on Monday Night Football versus Chiefs and was hospitalized after his head hit the turf hard, causing a blackout concussion. Watched this happen, and it was freaky. So, like, when he goes down, it was... When I say non-contact, I mean like he was diving for the ball in the end zone, had the catch, comes down, and he doesn't get hit by it when I mean non-contact. He doesn't get hit by another player. He goes down, he has the ball, and his head bounces off the turf. Ball instantly comes out, his arms frozen in one spot. The camera's like right in his face, and his eyes are like closed and frozen. When he came to, when they were stretching him off, hands were shaking. It was freaky, but
Scary. Very scary. I didn't see anything today. The last they said during the game was he was in stable condition.
Yep, they said they're going to release him after, I think it'll be after today. They were going to keep him for one more day, but still freaky. And that was back-to-back. So that was the second player, the back-to-back plays I was talking about, because Mike Williams went down too, like the play before that.
Yeah, he ended up fine, luckily.
Yeah.
But
You got anything on that?
I know I didn't even watch it or nothing.
Oh, okay. So you don't watch sports. Okay. It makes sense.
I'm glad you're here, Rio.
Yeah, it makes sense if you don't think
I
about it.
I didn't watch the Thursday night game.
Thursday. This Monday.
Yesterday was Thursday, bro.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that wasn't the Thursday night game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it...
He's
Jimmer
Jimmer forgot what day it was.
Yeah, Jimmer. I was like, what the hell?
He's been
Hold
working
on.
all week, man. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Night shift gets to you.
Major League Baseball and the Players Association met Thursday for the first time since owners locked out the players while the sides negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement. The conversations reportedly were involved were several non-core economic issues such as scheduling, grievance procedures, special events, and or drug and domestic violence policies, which still doesn't get to the main stuff that's actually getting you locked out.
Yeah, they want to iron this stuff out first so they can say they're making progress.
Which is cute. How has this stuff not already been knocked out before? You've been what is that? Well, we talked about that. Good faith negotiating. Faith negotiating before this, and you don't have this stuff knocked out.
Yeah.
Right.
You should be focusing just on the major shit at this point. All that stuff should be figured
Pretty
out.
simple, yeah.
But and that's what I got, gentlemen.
Let's talk about that Chiefs game a little bit first here.
Okay.
You watched most of it, some of it?
I watched.
What game did you watch Monday?
Monday? I watched some of it.
Trying to figure that out.
I end up being late for work actually.
What?
Yeah. So I'm watching the game. I pass out. I wake up to my alarm. I watched 3 minutes of the game after I shut my alarm off and doze back off. Woke up at 9:49. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even rushing. Fuck this.
Yeah,
I watched it and it was so. There were two. I do believe there's two of these or three, but the very first series for the Chargers, they come down the field. They get to like the 13 somewhere in there. They're inside the 20 for sure, and they go for it on fourth. I was about that business. I really was, especially the way the Chiefs' defense or offense has been sputtering. Like they would have had to march a field. It'd be just like a punt at that point. Yeah, some people say take the 3. First part of the game, I'm down for that. Do that. And they missed it because a couple drop passes too, actually. But then at the end of the first half, Mahomes threw an ugly ass interception, right? They get down there and they're in field goal range before the half, and they were up by 4, I do believe, before that, right? I think it was 14-10.
Mm-hmm.
Sound right?
Yep.
They decided to go for it on fourth down instead of kicking a field goal right there. taking a 7 instead of, and that is where I'm going to flip-flop. I'm like, no, you already tried this earlier. I'm usually for it, but in this sense, you would go up a touchdown going into half, and I do believe, did Kansas City get the ball in the second half off the kickoff? I think they were getting the ball back.
Kansas City got
so
the
you
ball.
go back, you would go into halftime with a touchdown lead, and you're giving the ball back to them. I don't know if you, and you're at home. This isn't like you're on the road, like you're trying to get the crowd out of it, right? And it was actually, you said you watched it too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That crowd was actually pretty impressive for the Chargers.
It was very much.
It was very
Mahomes
loud.
was struggling, yeah. It was.
That,
Props to them.
I was like, what the hell happened? They had to pay people to come. They had
something.
to. Or maybe they thought the Rams were in town. I have no
They
idea.
did at Kansas.
Right.
Yeah.
It's open. The gates are open.
So I'll start with Herbert played a great game.
He did.
Okay.
He was not
great.
the reason.
No. So the Chargers had two different times they were inside the 5 and went for it on 4th down, and they missed both of those opportunities. There's 6 points right there if you just say, fuck it, field goal. Then there was one point where they had a 46-yard field goal attempt that they could have got. They went for it on 4th and missed it. That's 9 points. This game ended up in overtime. They could have won the game.
If you just kick.
But to your point, I'm all for analytics to a certain extent, but when it's not working and you know it's a close game and it's not working, I don't know why you don't take the points.
So this is where I have to agree to disagree, because I am about the numbers. I don't think it should get into the wave of your normal judgment. Like, you should know your team and shit like that. You don't do it every time, but the analytics on that first drive, you should have done that. That's also to spark your team. I'm okay with that one. I really am. I'm 100% okay with that one. You can always go hindsight, and then what if they went for that field goal, which are no longer locks, kickers are dog shit. They miss one of those field goals, and then we come back around a different conversation. Why didn't you go for the touchdown? Your momentum was marching you down the field. You could have won that.
Well, that's 3 field goals, so you're talking about 3 missed field goals.
Right. I'm saying, but he was talking about all 3. I'm talking about the first. We shouldn't even.
No,
in my
all
opinion,
he's got to do is make one of
said,
them.
Listen, hold on. The first one I agree with you on.
Yep.
That first
but
one.
But there wasn't 3 more after that.
They went for 4th down 5 times, and they got 2 of them.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, 2 of those were inside the 5-yard line. Yeah. So they went on 4th 5 times, and the only the second one they got wasn't until the 4th quarter too. So that's another part of when you talk about momentum is you didn't succeed the last 3 times. Maybe you just try to take some points, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a point where Mahomes looked like shit. He could have scored a touchdown, and the Chiefs failed inside the 5. It was a terrible pass. Probably saw it on the highlight, right? Terrible pass.
I just saw that one live, yeah.
Yeah, and then when it came to the 4th quarter, it was like a totally different game. I think the team scored 29 points in the 4th quarter. It was just lights out. It was crazy. And there
was some busted coverage in there, too, like that walk-off in the OT and all that.
Oh,
too,
yeah, surrounded by 3 or 4 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd say busted coverage. That was just, I don't know how he didn't get tackled like 3 different times.
That and there was another beautiful pass, but I'm like, yeah, it was a threaded needle, but it was like the Chiefs better count their blessings. That's it. That's what my belief is at this point. I'm like, you better count your blessings, because that game was all Chargers. Chargers dominated you for 90% of that game, and yes, not when it counted. Obviously, they went to OT and this, that, and the other, but there were some plays even on defense. You're lucky the ball went where it went. Like, Patrick Mahomes should be counting this. He barely got it over fingertips. I don't know if you remember seeing that one. That was the first Travis Kelce catch.
Yep.
That was a big-time catch. In between 3 defenders, and it barely got over the tips of the other ones, and he was surrounded by, like, 2 other guys right there. And I'm talking about, like, no different, like, closeness between me and you. I'm like, you should have thrown that ball. That was stupid. You only see 2
seen
guys,
that coverage
though.
skills, I would have got it.
Yeah, or at least batted it, but there was a lot of luck on their side when it started coming down to it too.
Yeah, there was. The Chargers could have won that game by 14. You know, they really could have, but they didn't. And that was without the Chargers ran all over them. They had an old boy missing. I can't remember the defensive lineman that was out.
Yeah,
which was huge.
Yeah, Jones. Wow.
Yeah, because that's where they were running 90% of the time.
True that, but in equalness, they were also missing their potential Pro Bowl left tackle and Rashawn Slater too. So
yep.
But that being said, they were running all over him. Justin Jackson was running all over him. So Austin Eckler wasn't, for whatever reason, wasn't getting as many carries, but they were effective, I guess, so to speak. But they were running up and down. Justin Herbert looked great, and I don't even know what to say, like how they lost it. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Like you had this. It felt like you controlled this whole game. You had it in the bag. You're right, like some of the field goals, but I don't know if you're right with the later field goals for sure. Like start taking some points here because you're obviously shutting down the Patriots the Chiefs up to that point, right?
Yeah.
Or keeping them in check. Take some points. So you need to start separating yourself. I do like firing for it, going for it, and like I said, analytics to back it. I don't think analytics are do or die. It's a great resource.
Agreed.
That's what it should be. I think it should be used as a resource.
Yeah, like sometimes on 2-point conversions.
Yep.
Sometimes on fourth down.
On fourth down,
Yeah.
yep. Use it as a resource, but to go full bore, this is what we're doing. Sometimes you got to know the feel of the game, and I do agree with you when you're like, well, you missed the first three. Maybe that should be your flow of the game, right?
Yeah.
At that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all said that was a really important game last night.
Yeah.
So with that said, I think this is my thought. I want to know what you guys think, but I think the Chiefs end up winning the division.
Mm-hmm.
But I am more afraid to play the Chargers in the playoffs than I am to play the Chiefs.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely agree with that take.
Depending where it's at. If it's at the Chiefs, that gives you a little bit more.
True.
It does give you a little bit more.
It's loud, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you diehard Patriots fans on that side of the table. Yeah, I wouldn't want to face the Chargers versus facing the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes will give you every opportunity this year, to steal that game from him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the way I've seen Justin Herbert, I haven't seen like a bunch of games. Last night, I've seen maybe a couple others with him. That's an impressive quarterback, my man.
So good.
Dude. And he was missing players. And every time you turn around, one of his players was leaving the field, getting banged up. Keenan Allen had a scare there for a minute.
Yeah.
He ended up. It looked like I thought he tore something. Like the way he came up, he kept his foot straight and popped her up there. But, God, they're gonna be dangerous for many years to come. So, but yeah, that was a do or die. We chatted about that.
Yeah, I worry a lot about Mahomes. I think I've watched 3, maybe 4 of his games this year, and it seems like the biggest thing is just the basic fundamentals. Like he can do the crazy shit when he's out of the pocket.
But
he can thread the needle. But when he's in the pocket, man.
But he turns that stuff. He turns the routine stuff into trying to turn it into crazy, and you don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watch him. His fundamentals are all like, it's basic shit when it comes to like quarterback play, and he tries to turn it into this like he's. I don't know. It isn't working. It was awesome when it was working. Nobody ever talked about it, right? Nobody ever talked about that man having a flaw.
Yep.
When it's working, when the ball goes where it needs to go.
Yeah, everybody talks about the crazy play, but you hit on it earlier this year, and that crazy play is not a good play. It just happened.
It happened to work out.
Yeah.
Right, and you're seeing this year it's not as much. That Travis Kelce walk-off, I don't know how that dude was wide open. Like, I don't get it to this day. Like, why? It seems like he's always wide open, and then you only go to him and Tyreek. So why aren't you double, triple? Prove to me that you can beat me with Josh Gordon and that Robinson wide receiver and Mecole Hardman. Yep. Prove that you can beat me with those 3. You will not beat me with these 2 guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Isn't that how you do so? Isn't that what you do for the middle school? Some defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
And they give you some tape and you find out, hey, this dude does a lot of shit. What are you trying to do?
Yeah, take it away.
Take that away, beat me another way.
Else.
Beat me somewhere else.
That's how teams were successful against the Chiefs early in the season, right? They used the Bucs defense.
Mm-hmm.
They said, we're stopping these 2. Let's see what else you can do. And they couldn't do shit. There were some of those games they eked out, but it was like, they might score 14 points. But my whole point about Mahomes is even in just his pocket presence, like I don't know how many plays where Bosa got in there and Mahomes was just standing. It was like he didn't know anybody was there at all. Didn't step up, didn't move around in there. And one of the times there was a fumble. They tried to challenge it, but it was a fumble where Bosa caught him in the back. And is like, if I'm watching somebody, when you consider the great quarterbacks like Tom Brady, like Rodgers, whatever, they always have that feel. They always know when to step up, when to move left, right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And those kind of basic things, it doesn't seem like he's doing right, or maybe he never has. I haven't watched a ton of him before this year, just in the playoffs, but that's the reason, man. That's the biggest reason where I'm like the Chargers are way scarier than the Chiefs.
I think they have more talent everywhere. Overall, more talent everywhere.
Yeah.
And Herbert shows that he can throw anyone. I think he's the quarterback that we've all talked about, that he can make his teammates better.
Yeah.
Because he's not only eyeing something like that. They have more pieces on offense. They have more pieces on defense. There's just something, like, I don't know if there's a bad voodoo curse on them. Because they were good when Phillip Rivers was there, too. They always had the pieces, too, if you guys remember. But there was always something that happened. The one year that looked really sexy, remember that? They had, like, 4 losses or something like that because of special teams. Literally special teams, like a botched punt return.
Yeah. You know what? I think I actually kind of disagree with you. I think Chargers are the better overall team. I think they're pretty even offensively. Because Chargers have their 2 wide receivers, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, and then Austin Eckler. And the Chiefs have Tyreek, Travis Kelce, and their run game's probably not as good, but you have arguably the best tight end in the NFL. At your tight end position.
I think I was going more with, and you're not wrong at all. I was going more with, if we go back and look at like their other pieces stats, this plays back to what we're talking about with Justin Herbert. Yeah. Like all of a sudden you'll have a game from this David Parham Jr. out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because he finds him. He doesn't just gun for just Keenan Allen, which doesn't work great for fantasy, but it works great for football. And then you have they had another couple of receivers like that. I guess that's more what I meant, but. No. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I think offensively they actually match up well. I think
piece to piece.
Yeah. But I think the Chargers, when everyone's healthy on the defense, I like their defense a little bit more.
A little bit.
So.
Yeah. No, a hell of a lot more. That's where we will separate on that one.
No, I think that's what separates them.
Yeah, but it's not even. But I'm saying it's not even a little. It's if that. That's the other thing that was impressive, and what brings us back to us being what I believe is correct, is we told you that Chargers all-out blitz shit wasn't going to work when you ran into a real quarterback. And he picked that shit apart a few times when they came charging in. He hit the receiver that has the one-on-one coverage. He hit one of those for a touchdown with that all-out blitz. That stuff doesn't work. This isn't high school, and they only have so many pieces on defense that are actually worth the shit. They really do. I mean, you had some tip passes I think they had one tip pass for an interception or something like that too.
Yep.
But other than that, the defense I don't even think they're on the same level, like anywhere in the ballpark. They have way more pieces, way better pieces on the Chargers. It's not even close. It's like Tyrann Mathieu and Jones is what they got. Right?
And then who's that
unless
linebacker?
They got a linebacker maybe?
I like their safety.
That's Matthew. Unless you're talking about the other one.
No, the guy is real young. I wish the Cowboys had taken him, but I think it's a little bit closer than what you think, because obviously they held them in check enough for their offense to score 29 points in the fourth quarter. Right?
But I don't know if that comes. Yeah. Yep. I don't know if that comes to scheme and shit, I'm saying, the unspoken weird voodoo thing that the Chargers have, like something just buckles when it's not supposed to. You know what I mean? Because they do have, they have the safety, they have a couple linebackers, they have the defensive linemen, they have way more pieces on defense than the Chiefs do.
Like I said, I think that's what I do think the Chargers have a better defense. I think they are probably the closest team to each other, like in division races that are so close to each other. Ultimately, I think the Chargers are going to build off that and just be really successful here next year and the year after, several years after this, until they have to pay Herbert, and then, money gets tight. But yeah.
Yep, agreed, man.
So
fun game, though. Just fun game.
Crazy walk-off. That was 2 walk-offs in a row. In overtime. Not in a row. I shouldn't say in a row, but
what's
back-to-back weeks. The Buccaneers.
Oh,
OT.
Yeah.
Hit that one.
Yeah. That's right.
That's this is just crazy walk-off touchdowns deep.
Yep.
I wanted to touch a little bit on before we move on to our picks and all that stuff. We touched on it a little bit. Jaguars, head coaching.
Yep.
Where does Shad Khan go now, and does he screw it up again?
He's going to screw it up again.
Okay.
because it's what he does. I don't know if they keep somebody internal that the players have some respect for.
Maybe Daryl Bevel if it works out here the last couple weeks.
If it looks like the team's playing and actually, giving some more effort than they have been. Otherwise, I guess we kind of got to wait until the season ends to see who moves around, But
I mean, the guys that are out there, you can think of the ones that are hot right now. Like, for instance, maybe you're drawing a little bit of a blank, but like, for instance, how much would you throw at Josh McDaniels? Not saying he would leave because he keeps getting promised head coaching job, but maybe if you throw him the keys to the whole thing and you have a bright young quarterback that you get to mold.
Yeah, a couple of bright young
maybe
running backs. And
maybe even this dipshit to my right's offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, what pieces could you see going?
Who's Minnesota's offensive coordinator? I know he's talking to you,
Clint.
dipshit.
That actually wouldn't probably be, our offense hasn't been horrible. It's actually in the top.
It's not very creative, though.
It isn't, so they want to go that route. But Clint Kubiak is the guy, by the way.
Yeah, could be excellent. I don't see McDaniels going there, right?
Yeah.
No, I think you've already strung this out long enough now that it's like, all right, no, I'm gonna. But is he getting tired of like the held promise? Like, when are you gonna retire, bro? Bill, when you going?
If
I don't know, but now he wants to maybe hang on because he's got that young quarterback there.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you got one waiting in Jacksonville, but you got a guy who's balling out, right?
The way better one.
Lawrence has been struggling, right? So it's like
he's been struggling under Urban Meyer. Let's put that in there very clearly.
I get that, but he has a better receiving core than
not
the
according
Patriots
to Urban
do.
Meyer.
Way better.
Not according to Urban Meyer.
Yeah, but yes, I get that. But I mean, if you look at the guys, he has a better receiving core
he's got some stuff
than the Patriots.
Yeah. He's been missing most of them. You're going by just name. Laviska hasn't been out there for many games. Old boy wasn't there either. He lost one of his receivers right at the start of the season too, and then you have Urban Meyer playing into that too. Your scheme goes into this at the end of the day too. You do know that, right? Like,
I couldn't. Right, but I don't think I could tell you fucking besides Keneal Harry, even if he is a fucking Jacoby Myers, maybe.
Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like,
you don't,
I get scheme comes
you don't
into
need
it,
receivers when you throw 3 times a game.
He throws more than that. But.
Oh, no.
It was a one time. Come on, it was once.
No,
people won't forget, man. People won't forget.
How many games he played? 10, so he has, or 14 games, so he has what? What is that, 30?
Since you're so good at math, how many times did the Cowboys beat the Vikings this year?
In Roman
3
numerals.
times 4, 12. Carry that. We're at 42 pass attempts. Is that what he's at?
XBI.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
42 pass attempts.
All right. Bold prediction, okay? I think that what Belichick told McDaniels is, if I get another ring, I'll bail, and you can have the team.
He ain't getting another ring, so he'll be there another 20 years.
So if the Patriots happen to pull one out this year, Bill will retire.
They won't.
Bold prediction, baby.
Hard to do in the Cowboys.
I like the bold prediction. I like you swinging it out there. It isn't going to happen, so that's not going to happen. So,
I'm going to talk to somebody realistic here.
So I don't think
realistic. You think they have a realistic shot at the Super Bowl?
Can we unplug
Win?
his mic?
We talked about this. They could make it, right?
The Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
The Super
they
Bowl
could
win.
Absolutely make it, but I don't think they win the Super Bowl this year. I'm probably going to say they won't.
They're not beating anyone.
There.
They're not beating any one of the AFC North teams.
Right. We talked about a little bit about a young team.
They're better than every AFC North team. What are you talking about?
There's still a rookie quarterback back there at the end of the day with no receivers, like you so eloquently put it.
Yes. No, I put that way.
Yeah. So eloquently put that.
I don't.
And a rookie quarterback. They will not get past anyone out of the AFC North. That's not to mention the other ones.
You're insane.
You're not even talking about the other ones.
They're better than every team there.
No, and they're not better than anyone out of the AFC West that will be going. The Chargers or the Chiefs.
Stop it.
I'm being dead serious.
Stop
the only thing that comes into play is that it's going to be they may get home field advantage, so that's going to play big time. But
I'm done talking about the Patriots.
They only have, that's the only thing. They have a coach that's willing to run the ball 3 times or pass the ball 3 times in the game to win it.
Yeah.
Okay. He will do anything to win the game.
You're
not putting enough respect on this man.
No,
okay?
I'm not going to put respect on that because that was literally because of weather. If that weather was anywhere in the ballpark,
Right.
are you kidding me? Josh Allen would have diced them up.
Oh, weird. Did the Bills play in that same
I know
weather?
they didn't. They don't have a run game.
Oh, that's
They
okay.
don't have a run game.
Is
That
is
playing
true.
field going to be the same way every single game they play from
No,
here on out?
no. What I'm telling you is Bill will use any
Don't matter.
advantage, no matter what the advantage is. That's what he's going to rely on the
What's-
entire game to win the
What's
game.
the advantage? They ran the ball and
They had
the
a run
other team
game.
and the other team didn't have a run game.
They had a run.
That's
yeah.
all
So
I'm
that's
saying.
the advantage. Why'd you just ask what's the advantage?
He wouldn't have done that if
Quit
the weather
asking
wasn't
dumbass
like
questions,
that.
okay?
Hey, if the weather wasn't bad, he wouldn't have been able to do that.
Right, he wouldn't have done that.
No, he couldn't have, and you would have been diced up because Mac Jones is not beating the goddamn Bills.
Well, they'll play again.
There's
so
a reason why he only had 3
They
attempts.
will play again.
They'll play again.
Believe it or not, they do play again. What, next week? Or I know it was within the
It's next week or the week after.
They're
Yeah.
done with the NFL. We're done talking about
All
that.
right,
They're
moving
banned from
on.
the show.
Moving on to UFC Fight Night.
Banned.
Lewis versus
You
Dacus.
didn't even answer the question.
baby.
You didn't even answer the question.
Let's go. What
The
question?
coach.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't know if you should. What? Here's the thing too. Are they scared of a college coach now?
Yes.
That's where I was about to touch
So
on.
then, it's maybe a waiting game to see what pops up with coaches wanting to leave. Assistant coaches, is Kellen Moore? Can you pry him away? I mean, he might want to come to a young quarterback and a young offense. And
who do you think will be it? Was the question.
I don't know.
So throw a name.
I can't tell you.
Throw a name.
Matt Campbell.
There you go.
Matt Nagy.
Throw a name. Don't
Man,
Just throw a name. It was a
James
question
Holder.
of who do you think?
Well,
Now,
who do you
not
think?
James
what-
Holder.
Now we sit there and wait.
Who do you
James
think?
Holder.
I was actually thinking Dabo.
I don't know.
Dabo or the two offense coordinators
Not
I just
bad.
brought up.
I think we have to kind of
That's
see
that's what I meant. I was answering the question.
what the
We can
team
all-
plays, how it plays.
Well,
after
that's
this.
what I'm getting. I would just want your guess of what you think. We could all sit there and wait, and then we're not gonna call something at that point. Then we can see who's all free
Well, they're not
agents.
going to hire him before the end of the year, so yeah, we got to wait and see how they play. Do they play for this?
If they
interim
if they
coach?
play
Do
well, I think they might bring somebody up and keep him because the team's got respect around whoever it is. That's
don't
where I
think
went with that. I really hope they don't go college again because it already bit them in the ass so hard this time. So then it's going to depend on who's out there.
I know,
at
but
that point.
urban's urban, right? Like you can't let that. That's like that. That's like not fake. That's like not taking a fantasy guy the next year because he bit you an injury the year before,
I did
right?
that.
I know you did, and I know other guys that have, and it's hard to do. Like I've been nipped by it, and I try to avoid them,
Julio.
But
for
that's the
example.
same thing. If you go into that determining you're not going to take a college football coach, aren't you kind of just selling yourself short? You're not even trying to get the best guy that possibly could be because you're eliminating someone or a group of people because they're college because you got nipped by this jackass. Was my point.
Maybe you don't eliminate it. I would personally, but maybe you don't eliminate it. But that has to weigh in to your decision.
I know it would be. It'd be hard
Yeah.
to. That's what I mean. That's why I was trying to tie it to like the fantasy football part.
Yeah.
It'd be really hard for me not to or to try to take my mind off of the dude that just bent me over the year before.
Right.
Like you cost me. It'd be hard for me to take that out of my mind when it comes to new, fresh football season. Well, every
Definitely.
season's different. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to name who you were thinking before we get down to it. Anyone can do that. That's the point.
I really think the Jaguars are going to look not good, not like a good NFL team, but they're going to look a lot better over the remainder of the season. What's our 4 games left?
Do you think they were right
4
with like
games left.
Darrell Bevel though?
Possibly.
He's had a lot of ups and downs throughout his career too.
I don't know how the team feels about him. So
Right.
you
Got to
know.
see how the team plays for it. If they, step up and they're playing for him, and the cultures change. We hear the culture word.
I don't know if he's going to be able to. The pay part comes into it too. He'd be able to pay him a lot less than trying to pull somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, now we'll move on to UFC Fight Night. Lewis
UFC,
versus
baby.
Dacus. Not going to spend too much time. There is one fight I did see on the prelims that I do want to touch on, and that I'll be betting Charles Jourdain versus Andre Ewell. I'm betting Charles Jourdain the whole way. 11-4. He's a minus 200 favorite. I'm going that way. He's a gamer all the way. Swinging on to the main card, Cub Swanses versus Darren Elkins. They have Cub Swanson minus 190 right now, but I'm going to go Darren Elkins. He's just been winning those fights lately. And
Yeah, that's a good
they call him the it will be a great fight.
Yeah.
They call him the damage. I think this will be an awesome fight of the night. Potential right here. I think Elkins, he's just been he's been showing to me that he can win them close fights and then brawling tight matches recently. So that's the way I'm going to ride there. Rafael Sunsao versus Ricky Simon. And I'm kind of surprised they have Simon as a favorite at minus 280, and that's where I'm betting. Ricky Simon, kind of a young up-and-comer. Young, I say, but a wrestler and a good striker. So I'm going to go with Ricky Simon as well. Stephen Thompson versus Bilal Muhammad. They have Bilal Muhammad at plus 180, and I'm going to go that route. I think Stephen Thompson just doesn't have it. Bilal Muhammad can take him down, ground and pound. Stephen Thompson, I just don't think can keep this fight standing, and that's the way it's going to go. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I don't know if y'all know some of these guys.
Yeah, I like just because I like Cub, I think he pulls that off. I do think that's going to be a fun fight, though.
Yeah, big time.
I like Cub. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. It seems like pretty evenly matched card, right? So, I do like Lewis.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know much about this Chris Dacus guy. 12-3. Don't know much about him. So I would ride Derek Lewis. I'd probably pick that Derek Lewis to go by knockout. Hopefully he worked on his cardio because he definitely needed that.
He definitely needs it, yeah.
So, but that's the way I'm kind of riding on UFC card tomorrow night.
You like Lewis in that, Jimmer?
You got to, I guess.
You got
You got to, because when he's hungry, what does he?
He eats his wife's ass.
That's right.
Is what he says.
Yeah.
I was going to ride with Darren Elkins, and then I don't know. I like that Muhammad guy over Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
And you have to go with Ricky Simon just for the mullet.
Oh yeah,
mullet,
absolutely.
baby.
So that one's
American
an easy pick.
mullet, baby.
American mullet.
American
And
mullet.
I do have two other bits of news around the UFC. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yep. I was about to touch that.
Poirier.
Poirier
not that one.
Diaz.
and Diaz have verbally agreed to fight in January.
Yeah.
Started off
Nate
over
or
some
Nick?
shit talking. Nate.
Okay.
Yeah, 170 because he's going to 170. Poirier. Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
It's Poirier, right?
Yeah.
Just because Nate's
But why? It's not a fight.
Diaz is a money fight, bro.
Diaz money.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying if he wants to be a champ, that's not the fight you take. Diaz is not relevant at the moment.
I don't think Dustin cares. So they were tweeting back and forth.
Yep.
And Diaz is like, "Hey, I'll fight you next month." And Dustin's like, "I'll fight you this month, bro. I don't give a shit." Like, and he's like, "Haha." And he goes, "I'm not kidding."
Well, you kind of have
Like
to.
Dustin
I
just
think,
wants
when,
to get back
call out.
because he just and he got choked. Fucking had to tap.
But he's
out
been
too.
so close to that gold. Why do that to yourself? Because if you go to 170, you can probably get a better fight than that at 170. I'd imagine.
Not money.
Yeah, probably not money.
This is all about
I agree.
money,
I
right?
agree. Probably
It's
not
all about
money.
money.
And
We
Diaz,
talked about that.
This one is, yes. I found it weird because I thought he was, he's been there at gold so close so many times, just to him having it, and to be heartbroken a couple times. Okay, bump up a weight class and I go after it. Yeah, this is a strictly 100% money fight.
because Dustin should win this, right?
No.
Pretty like.
Mm-mm.
I'm not.
Nate, baby. You don't come up to
Nate's
that.
Nate's good. Nate's still a very good fighter, but he's not what he was.
That's
dude.
it. Yeah, but that's still his weight. You're coming up to him. I would still ride with Nate on that one.
Connor beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a few years ago, quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was the second attempt. It wasn't the first attempt. So if you want to book it twice and then you want to say Poirier wins the second one, then okay. I'm saying the first time he comes up there and he faces Nate will beat him.
Okay. I mean that's fair.
I like Poirier. I just mean you're coming up there to his natural weight.
Yeah.
You're coming up to his. It didn't work well for Connor either.
I think
And then
Dustin
the second time around he did.
thinks he's better than Nate.
You know what? I like Nate and I want to go Nate so bad, but if you watch the Edward fight, I think you can see why you should go Poirier is because when you face a striker like that, you're just gonna get busted up. And
Yeah, you and Luke not only dick rode this dude so hard, But when he was getting pieced up by fucking Connor in both fights, what did you both say? Oh, he's a bleeder. He's so scarred. As soon as you touch him, he starts bleeding. What's that mean, busted up? So he's going to bleed. I'm not, what are you worried about?
No, I'm saying like he was getting just pieced up by Edwards on the feet is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
no,
Until he rocked him, but didn't go in for the finish.
But then going for,
Yeah.
But that's
But
why
it was like he was getting beat up the whole fight, though.
Yeah.
Up until that. And that's why I like Nate, and I want to go with him, but
I thought you meant busted up like the face. I'm
No,
like, that's what you guys defended. That's what you went by.
No, I'm just saying he was until he rocked him.
I got you.
He was getting busted
Yep.
up, beat up the whole fight, losing the stand-up battle.
But then didn't go in for the kill.
Yeah, and then when he did finally tag him. And so that is the reason why I'm probably going to have to lean Poirier coming up, because Dustin's a good boxer.
They agreed officially to do this, or just their
verbally.
Verbal. So let's see what the UFC wants to do and all that kind of stuff.
Well, the UFC will want to do it too, because that's still money, right? I mean, that's never when it comes to this type of thing, that's never an issue, right?
Right.
Because Dana, there's one thing he likes: money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, even though Nate's a little bit older and he's not what he was, if Dustin's able to bump up a weight class and beat up, not just beat up Diaz, I think that puts him at least in the conversation of like who's going to fight for the title next, like up there somewhere, right? That doesn't it's not just a like throwaway fight is my point, Rio. I think that bumps him up in the conversation.
For Poirier?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's a strictly money fight. How many times has he lost now? He just keeps slipping.
Diaz?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know the last time he won. Connor? I don't know.
Probably. And that's why I'm saying I don't think this is get him farther.
You might be right, too. Yeah.
I can look here at his fight, what he's got going on.
Fight card.
So he's lost to Masvidal, Leon Edwards. He did beat Anthony Pettis, who is now out of UFC. He lost to Connor.
Well, so he retired him. He beat him so badly.
Well, not retired.
I got you.
Not retired. He went to get more money somewhere else. Is ultimately what.
Yeah. Did he go
Bellator or PFL?
Yeah.
PFL. So yeah, and then I lost to Jorge, and then I lost to fucking Leon. Yeah, I don't think this scoots you up. Especially after Nate having 2 losses, I don't see this scooting you up any. I think it's just a strictly money fight for Poirier.
Yeah. And I get where you're going with that. That makes sense. I think
Anthony Pettis out of the UFC, not a great win.
What I don't get then, if you're going to do it, because technically he's still, even though he hasn't been winning, isn't Connor ranked higher at Poirier's actual weight, like what? And that's money. Why wouldn't you do that then? Again, that's money, and it can still
because he wanted to move up weight classes and stop cutting weight.
Yeah, he wanted to ultimately stop cutting weight.
So it's not gonna help. Yeah, okay.
But it's no disrespect to Diaz either, right? So Diaz has always been a great fighter. He's been doing it his entire life. What I see is I think ever since he fought Connor and made some real money, I kind of think his head's not in it like it used to be. You know what I mean? He's that guy.
Maybe
now.
not, but like I have my superstitions. My superstitions is just like
they don't have Nate anywhere at 155 or 170 in the top 10.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at is like just like in football, when I tell you West Coast going east, it's never good. I mean, if you go to the record, when you go up or down in a weight class, unless you do everything 100% correctly, it is more difficult to beat somebody at their natural weight. And we've watched this happen more times than not. Usually going down, I do agree with you. Usually going down in weight, it does not bode well for someone. And you're fighting someone that fights at that natural weight. I don't have the records in front of me, but anytime someone comes up, unless they're a ridiculous superstar, I don't know if it bodes well. That's all I'm saying. You're going up to fight somebody in their natural weight class. They're used to fighting at that. You have to bulk up to that. You're not used to fighting at that. That's what I'm riding on. It has nothing to do with anything else. That's all I was getting.
I think no problem here, just because Nate's a 55 or 2. He just been fighting at 70.
Yeah, but he's been fighting at 170 for how long?
Twice.
Now? Well, I'm talking about his natural fighting class.
His 155 is where he's fought most of his career.
Now he's now he's an old man. Yeah. He's not cutting down to 155. Right. So his natural fighting class is 170 is what I'm getting at.
Right, and same thing with Poirier.
He cut to 155. just like Diaz used to.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
now-
now is
oh, I
now
didn't
he's
yeah.
just keeping it.
Well, you could have stopped me then when you said, "Hey, he's
what I was trying to do.
170." You should have said, "No, he's a 170 fighter. He cut to 155."
Yeah, he might. I bet he walks.
It's kind of funny that you
Sorry.
guys didn't bring that up because it looks like he's been fighting 155 for a while when he fought Connor twice at 155. Correct?
Same
No, he
thing
fought
with-
him. He fought Connor at 170 once, or maybe
Did he?
both times.
Nate, they
Once
had to
at
catch
least.
weight at 170, and then they went to 155
Okay.
because remember it was like a short notice week before, so
Okay.
he could only make 170.
Yeah, I think that's the first fight.
Yeah, that was the first fight. Then it was
Yeah.
55 the second one.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, dude, fun fight. No matter who wins,
Mhm.
like.
What was-
Yeah,
d-
I think
was
it'll
it-
be all right
What
for
was
a
the
little
other
bit.
thing?
So Islam, that guy who's gonna be a fucking star here
Star.
real soon. He's a
Yes.
stud. It looks like he could be heading for a fight with Colby.
Ooh.
So Colby Covington is a fucking stud, and Islam has been murking people. Nobody's even
Yes.
close. This man looks like the next Khabib, in my opinion. Like, he could just destroy everybody in his weight class. And it seems like Dana might be giving him the shot finally to fight somebody named.
This
So that could happen.
Just a second coming of because my boy O'Malley too
You said
coming
Islam?
up.
I think it was Islam, right?
No, the Irish hate. I thought you said it was Islam.
Islam or the.
Yeah, I know you mixed up like two guys.
I do mix those guys'
There's
names
two
up.
guys that
They're
are
both
kinda,
like Russian-ish.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
I know there's two guys. There's another one that's a badass that everyone keeps
It
ducking.
might
You
not
said
be
I
Islam.
don't think it's Islam. I
What?
think it's a different
Damn
one
it, what's
you're
his
thinking
name?
of.
Yeah, you're right. I think it is. What
Because Islam's at 155.
from? Because he's Russian, I think, right?
Yes. Chismat.
Kazmat. I think
Kazmat,
that's. I
yeah.
think that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Yes,
Kazmat. Yep, I'm
yes.
sorry. Islam's a stud too in his weight class, but different weight classes. Yeah, I think it's Kazmat. So I think they're gonna finally give him. It
Yeah.
looks like they're gonna give him a shot against somebody.
Right. Because, and looking at, the other ones, Colby, I thought it was always 1-2. And then, obviously, Kazmat, he's right there, too, it seems like. But, he hasn't faced one of the guys. But I thought it was Usman and Colby, and they're right there. And then there's kind of a gap. And then they have Gilbert Burns, who unanimous decision gets Stephen Thompson. Lame. That was a lame fight. Horrible fight.
Yep.
Leon Edwards, he's been doing great, but he just, even though he'll beat people up, he just doesn't get that knockout.
Yep.
He doesn't get the finishes. And then, really not impressive after that. And so, yeah, this guy can hop up there and kind of close that gap, maybe, and throw another name besides Usman and Colby Covington. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a star and going to be a stud myself.
Yeah, this man just lives to fight. He ragdolls people. He fucks them up in the first round all the time. There was a point, correct me here, Rio, but I think he beat two guys within like 17 days when the whole Fight Island thing was going on. Like, he just dominated the first fight
Yeah.
and fought right away after that.
Yeah, stud.
And then he went here recently and did a wrestling match with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Ragdolled him.
Yeah.
And he was, like, what, 2 weight classes above him or whatever, or at least one.
That I'm not sure on what the weights were, but I did see that. Yeah,
Yeah, a legit wrestler.
freestyle match or
Yeah, this man's good, and I think that'd be a fun fight too. There's less details around that, but
Right.
it sounds like that could happen. and
right
that'd be
because
great.
he's gonna have to get paid
Yep.
something to fight somebody of Colby Covington's status. So I'm sure money's kind of gonna be a deal.
for sure.
I thought you were going a different route. I thought you were talking about the settlement on John Jones.
Oh, good.
Oh.
No,
I did
Fill us
hear
in.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, just
Yeah.
domestic thing. He's
Yeah.
still he pled guilty, but
well, I don't know if everybody knows, so let's get the details.
he whooped a chick. So
That's why he went to jail not too long ago, right?
yeah, he accepts a plea deal for domestic battery case, which I think he's still be out of MMA, right? Taking a plea deal in his domestic battery case in Nevada and will serve no jail time. Stemming from a September 24th incident in Las Vegas Strip Resort. Jones must stay out of trouble, pay $750 restitution to the victim, and attend anger management counseling.
$750.
$750.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like John Jones as a fighter, but it seems like when
Yeah.
he fucks up, there's always some kind of, oh, I'm better now. Everything's going to be different now. And
Yeah.
It just never is, It
Never.
sucks.
Yeah.
Well, for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. It's too bad. He was one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah, totally.
Can't get
agree,
his
man.
mind right.
Connor, too, till he got mauled. Right?
Still loved him when he was beat up on your boy. Watched him beat up on Floyd Mayweather.
Not enough, though.
Not enough, but he stunned him, and he realized, God damn, that hurts. I'm gonna have to actually tune. He did go. Mayweather went to a true boxing level. He's like, oh fuck, and then he pieced him up.
Yeah.
Then it was nothing.
Yep. Towards the end of that
but
fight.
before that, he clipped him a few times. He's like, shit, that's what that feels like.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go too far into this so we can get to our picks and stuff, but I think Connor's deal is too many times he was so good on his feet and knocking people out, and then now he's reached that level. He's having to waste all his energy trying to knock him out. He's trying to waste all his energy knocking people out, and then just gasses himself out or his muscles out, and it gets dead arms or whatever the case is, and I think that's kind of his problem.
And he doesn't defend at all. Like, he takes shots to the face regularly.
Right.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff that go into watching him. It's frustrating. It's frustrating watching your favorite fighters decline, and it's usually for one reason or another. Usually it's not fighters, it's teams, players, all that stuff. Usually it's age and all that. But
his is cocaine.
His is
cocaine.
And
who?
money.
And money. Yeah,
And
definitely
money.
money. And some anger issue outside of take that anger out that you keep beating people up outside of the damn octagon and whoop someone's ass in the octagon. Sure, you still got it there, but
I think that's more the
it's too much
extracurricular
cocaine. Little bump, little bump G.
I keep seeing things come across social where it shows Connor. Have you seen a recent picture of him? Fucking jacked. So they things that I keep coming across say like he gained 32 pounds of muscle, and he has something called I think it's McGregor fast.
Yep.
Yeah, and so he's like attributing it to that, and I'm like, I need to see the needle marks, bro, because that shit is not coming from any kind of cardio, anything. That's straight up muscle that you added. Like, he's yoked. Like, that's not.
Yeah, I did see a couple of those. You see him in like even his commercials too.
Yeah.
He's getting a little big there.
Well,
Muscular. Not like Zion Williamson big either.
No.
Right.
No cheeseburgers here, bro.
No cheeseburger Eddies.
Yeah.
Yep. Ready for picks?
Yep. Let's go ahead, Jimmer. Go into your NFL picks for this weekend.
Let's see. So I'll do my NFL ones. I do have 3 college ones. I got 2. My Stone Cold locks. We'll ride with that first. I got the Titans -1 at the Steelers. I have not looked at whose COVID list is where. I just know that the whole league's dealing with it, so I'm just going to ride with what I believe here, just without even knowing it. But I got Titans -1. I think the Steelers are just starting to crumble. I got, and that's at the Steelers. I had Indy -2.5 at home against the Patriots. I think it will literally be by a field goal. That's
one way or the other,
Yeah.
right? It will, yeah. I
no
agree.
one way. Indy by a field goal.
Yeah. No respect.
None. 0. Zilch. Nada. Falcons at Niners. I have the Niners -9.5. And this one was a little more, believe it or not, this one was a little more difficult than what I thought. I just feel like this is like a weird line, a weird week, a weird game that I also want to be shocked if the Falcons are actually in this by some dumbass weird Sunday afternoon. So especially with all this movement and time games and all that, I haven't looked to see if they were affected by that or not. They didn't get switched days, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna ride with it. Niners -9.5. My upset picks, I have the Bengals +2.5 at the Broncos. They win that game.
Boom. I like it.
I got the Raiders +1 at the Browns, and that is purely because of they lost their backup quarterback now too. I don't know if you saw that. Case Keenum was there. So you have Mayfield, Keenum. That one could change if they were to come back, say move the game back now, because when I made the picks, it was before the games. But
So let's say they're healthy, though. Let's say everybody or the key players come back. Would you still hold that, or do you want to wait on that until
I think I'm
Sunday?
gonna ride with it because I don't think they're all gonna come back healthy on this.
Okay.
Not right. You only moved it out I don't know, maybe a couple days. You test positive for COVID like multiple times even after getting COVID. So I'm gonna ride with that one. I haven't seen the Raiders with a bunch of them yet, so I don't know. I mean, cold weather indoor, I get it. So I'm wavering on it, but I'm riding the upset +1.
Okay.
Washington football team +7.5 at the Eagles, and this is purely because of division. That's all this is. I thought I was on the. I'll be the first one to say I was on the Washington bandwagon last week. Was that with the Cowboy one?
Yeah.
So I was on it last week. I was full bore, but they needed that win. They needed to win that game. I still think they're too good of a team for them to get blown out by the Eagles. So inside a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got for mine, gentlemen, for that.
All right. I'll go ahead and roll with mine. I'm taking Cleveland to win. They're 1-point favorites versus Raiders. I say they probably at least eke it out by a touchdown. I think Raiders keep it interesting. Like I said, I don't think I've seen much off their COVID list. I think they keep it interesting, but I think Cleveland can get a stop and maybe win by a touchdown. I'm taking Minnesota, 5.5 favorites versus Bears. I say they win by a touchdown, 10 points, something like that. You know, they're going to get the Jason Garrett effect going on over there. I already told you I'm full on. They're going to sneak in the playoffs and get that Jason Garrett effect.
I forgot I was going to tell you this. Okay. We don't do this because it's a superstition. But actually, if I had to, like a non-fan, I would actually go the Bears to cover that 5.5.
Yes.
At Chicago, we do weird shit. They do weird shit.
I know y'all do weird.
They do weird. No, they do weird shit against Minnesota at Chicago.
Right. Well, they play Green Bay real tough too.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
But that's kind of where I'm going. I also have the Giants to cover the 10.5 points versus the Cowboys. They don't win that game, but I think they keep it closer than that 10.5. Also taking the over at 44.5. I think Cowboys offense is going to light them up. I think the Giants are going to get the ball a lot. And so could potentially get to 17 to 20 points just by default of getting the ball that many times.
You said the Cowboys are covering?
No, the Giants. Cowboys are 10.5 point favorites.
Yeah,
I think.
Are you confused with what else he was saying too? Okay.
Why?
You said that you were going to throttle them on offense.
No, I'm saying well, we're going to score enough that they're going to keep getting the ball,
and they're going to still be within 10 points.
Yeah, I think it's probably 10. It's probably 10 is what it is, and it's probably like
that's one hell of a shot you're calling right now. That's a tight. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
A very tight.
It's probably like a 20 to 30 game. I imagine.
Okay.
Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals to win that game versus the Broncos. They're 2.5 underdogs.
Yep.
And that is my NFL picks.
Boom. All right, man. So as far as locks this week, Bills are going to take care of business against the Panthers, 11.5. They're going to come in pissed, and they might win this game by 20. They're going to just beat up the Panthers. We still don't know what's up with the quarterback situation in Carolina.
They say Cam Newton, yeah.
Josh Allen is good to go. He's going to play.
I did see that.
They'll take care of business there. The Browns, I actually think they're going to cover against the Raiders here come Tuesday, right? They should take care of business. They have to. I think that's a big part of it. The Rams are going to cover 5.5 against the Seahawks. Especially if they can clear OBJ by the game, they're just going to be able to dice up that secondary of Seattle and take care of business there. Now, when it comes to upset picks, it's a little tougher. I thought some of the lines were pretty good for the week, but I actually think, and if you're confident enough, we can put a wager on this, but this is one of those weird feeling games. I think the Steelers actually beat the Titans this weekend. Titans are only favored by a point. I think the Steelers come through and they win. I think that's a coaching deal. I think Titans secondary isn't that great. Ben's been playing well for whatever reason.
He played Minnesota's secondary. That's why.
Well, the other thing, the Titans secondary is not good either, though. What's good, they've got a really good pass rush and a pretty good run defense. Steelers, on the other hand, don't have a very good run defense. Cook was running. He didn't get touched for like 15 yards most of the time, right?
So I'm going to try to sell
But the Titans don't have a good run game. So
I'm going to try to sell this off of you a little bit.
Oh, but they do have a former Texas Longhorns
They do.
running back as a starter.
They do.
You did just say that the Titans defense was good at getting pressure, right? Sacks.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good at getting pressure.
Yeah, pretty good at getting pressure against one of the worst offensive lines in the league and an old busted quarterback. So that's where I'm sold on. Like, you don't even need the secondary at that point. We weren't getting pressure in the second half. The Vikings were not on him, especially in that last quarter. So, and then you can't run against them because you said a good run defense. Yeah, I'm feeling 100% more confident. Are you just trying to take a whiskey shot? Because you could just take it.
It is delicious. I might do one before we're done.
Right.
But no.
I think I'm going to knock this can over whiskey wager.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
No, I told you. I'm trying to put some logic to it, but it's a weird feeling game. I think the Steelers do take care of it. It is in Pittsburgh again. Terrible towels, the whole nine. But I think they take care of business there. And then the other one is the Saints always play the Bucs tough. Especially ever since Tom's been there.
I was looking at that 11.5.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, to cover that.
And it's kind of a weird deal because the Bucs usually are able to cover and more at home, but the Saints play them really tough. I think this ends up being a 3 or 7 point game. The Bucs still win, but I think the Saints do cover on that. For whatever reason, they've kind of got Tom dialed in.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. You got some college. I got 3 that I'm just going to bet for this weekend. I'm betting UTEP versus Fresno State. I'm taking UTEP. I don't have the lines or anything like that. Just betting straight up. Taking UTEP, Fresno State. Hayner's in the transfer portal, so they don't have their quarterback. And also kind of a Texas team, so I'm going to ride with that.
I think it was 7.
Was it 7?
I think it was 7, just so you know. I think it was.
I'm going to ride BYU, baby, versus UAB. I'm going to go ahead and bet BYU. Take them all the way.
You want some of that?
So
That's one of my upset picks.
We'll
UAB to cover 6.5.
We can go whiskey wager
I'll
on
take
that.
that too.
Mm-hmm.
You too?
UAB.
UAB
So, Jimmer.
to cover 6.5.
Oh, to cover, I'm on.
To cover 6.5.
Cover
Touchdown.
6.
You're riding BYU, right?
I'll ride BYU.
There, I'm
Get
in
it,
too.
baby.
I like it.
So,
Just because you got to be wrong about them once, and I think this will be it. That's the only logic.
Yeah, you're not gonna be perfect with being on the wagon, jumping off in perfect timing, jumping back on. So
Yep, that's the
this
only
is
reason.
it. This is it.
Because I do like BYU, but
if I can get this to type. And then I'm going to take Louisiana straight up versus Marshall. Get it, baby.
Yeah, I think that one was that 7 also? 7. It's inside 7 maybe. Yeah, I was looking at that same one and I was thinking the same thing, but I stayed away from that one because I know you have a hard on over Louisiana. It just makes it look that much better for Texas's loss, but
yep.
But Marshall plays pretty damn good too. I'm staying away from that one. I'm not saying either which way. So, do you have any? I got a couple.
No, you can cover yours. You're good.
All right, so he already touched my one upset pick for college, and that was UAB plus 6.5 against BYU. Not much logic there. Just UAB. I just don't think they're getting enough respect. They're a pretty damn good team, and they're riding the BYU thing. I don't know. I like UAB. Always have. App State minus 2.5 for a Stone Cold lock at Western Kentucky. I do not know if that's going on right now or if that's on tomorrow.
Didn't both of these teams lost their championship games, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, because I'm looking at them. I'm like, I feel like I picked both of them here a few weeks back.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And then I have Oregon State minus 7 at Utah State. I think Utah State, big old, their conference championship game was where they blew their nut. Oregon State's just been pretty consistent all year long, surprisingly. I think they do that. That's right, and that's what I had.
Boom. I love it.
Yeah.
Some good college games this weekend, too.
Yeah. Bowling season. Like, it kind of crept up on us. Like, I totally forgot. I was like, oh, maybe I'll pull up some college ones that got to be coming up here soon. Oh, yeah. No, there's a game tonight. Which, last time I seen it was a barn burner, by the way, like normal Coastal Carolina stuff. 47-41.
Yep.
Jesus. And that's what I was going to look. Let's look at the bowl schedule. I'm pretty sure they may play tonight. That Western Kentucky one.
I thought that was tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I think it was just 2 tonight. It was Midwest Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Yep.
Middle Tennessee and
Middle
Toledo.
Tennessee. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. So tomorrow's the Western Kentucky App State. Okay. Take Jackson State, baby.
Jackson State.
Dion.
Don't be surprised if Fresno State doesn't win that game against Utep because Hainer left, right?
He's in the portal, yep.
He went to Washington, so...
Oh, is that official?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that's where
his
coach went to. Who went
yeah.
there? Was it the coach?
But it wasn't. So I read it. The thing I read yesterday, and he could have done it within the last 2 days, but he wasn't official yet. He hadn't put out anything yet.
Oh,
where he was going.
Oh, okay.
That was just a speculation because that's where
okay.
the coach went.
Okay, then disregard. But either way, he's in the portal, so he's not playing, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's all you got over there, Jimmer?
Yeah.
Boom. Let's start to wrap it up, man. Jimmer, you've got the "It makes sense if you don't think about it" segment, right?
I do. So I have a list of them, and it's always.
It better be good. Rio set the bar high last time, bro.
He did. He did set the bar high.
Yeah.
It won't be. I don't know about that. I mean, when you start talking, you start talking about wrapping your tool with a fucking plastic bag, and then.
It wasn't me. It wasn't my story. It was my buddy's story.
And
we don't even know that.
We don't know that for a fact. This is getting fishy now.
That's true.
No, so much detail. It was a Ziploc.
Hypothetically,
my buddy Bulldog told me that this he knew a guy that happened to him, and so he is real reliable.
So I'm gonna roll with. Have I said anything about the Okoboji boat?
No, I don't think so.
All right. So we're doing a bachelor party for one of our good buddies in Okoboji by the name of Joey Kelly.
Shout out, Joey.
Shout out, Joey.
Miss you. Been hunting with him all day.
So we've been planning. Stuff for I think a couple weeks, or maybe a month or so. We had looked into what we wanted to do. We settled on we definitely wanted to take a boat out onto the lake there. So they plan a boat, as in I think we talked to the best man, and he was gonna book it, and he did book it. And then we were gonna divvy up the how much ever it was, which wasn't bad at all. But regardless, we get there and we walk down. We get on the boat and all that stuff. It doesn't look bad, right?
Yeah,
looked pretty good. We get out in the middle of this lake, and this lake is pretty good size, especially for Iowa. We're not from Minnesota, obviously, where the lakes are
oceans.
Yeah. So this is a pretty good size one, though.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there cruising along. We stop, and I'm gonna tell you a little baby funny story onto this story. So we stop, and obviously, if you've ever been on a boat drinking alcohol, you gotta piss too, right? But there's people scrolling around, and Joey, do you remember that part?
Oh, yeah.
We're like, dude, just piss off the side. He's like, no, there's people over there. Okay, fine. Just get in the water and piss. Get in the water and piss through your trunks. He gets down in there, and he's just standing. So he's standing on this ladder or the connected to the boat, and he's standing down in the water, and he's just forever just waiting, right? And we're like, what are you doing? He's like, I can't do it. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do it? Just let it go. He's like, I can't. The pressure of the water pushing up against me. It's weird. I can't do it. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm gonna have to get out. I'm like, what are you gonna do? You're holding your piss this whole time. We still have another 3 hours.
Come on, man.
That's where so that part's funny. This is where we get back to the part where we did not have 3 more hours on this boat.
Not so funny.
We get to cruising, and he decides to open her up, as in drop the hammer on this and see what it can do. And all of a sudden, the front end starts going down. It starts the floor of this boat, or the carpet, whatever you want to call that's on there, that waterproof carpet. It's floating. It looks like a waterbed
on the floor.
On the floor of the goddamn boat that we're on, in the middle of a fucking
and the
lake.
Waves start coming over the top the front of the boat.
Are coming over the top. It looks like we're about to do fucking Titanic here. We're plummeting this bitch. And I'm like, what is going on? We're recording, Grant, I was like, yeah, exactly.
Playing the
violins over there. I was like, and there's nothing to do. I'm like, God damn, I've been drinking all day. There's no way I can swim all the way to shore. I guarantee we're cramping up for sure.
Right.
He stops. Obviously, he stops the motor. We just kind of we're still like kind of going down a little bit, but we start working the water out of the floating part of the goddamn underneath the wood and whatever.
Yeah, it's like captured between the wood and the canvas.
And the canvas.
Right.
So we start pushing this out. It looks like a waterbed. If you've ever seen a waterbed, it's exactly what it looked like. We start pushing this out in the corners, and then he contacts the boat rental place. They bring out a little baby boat and come out there and work on stuff or whatever it was. And no, we called them and they said, no. Yeah, that's what it was. So after we get it emptied out like that, we're just gonna putter it back. We'll just take it nice and easy. Well, then the engine stops.
Oh yeah.
Engine's not working right.
So we got to call them out there. That's when they come in with a little boat. That's right. I forgot about that. So they come in there, they start working on something, and I can't remember what they found on the motor part. But we talked to them about that. They're like, "Oh no, you should be good. That must have been just something like that because of the fin. Didn't they say something about the motor of the fin, and that's the reason why it was blah blah blah." Okay. They leave. We get to going again, and it starts doing it again.
Yeah.
As in water, or as
water
in
going down.
Oh,
right.
man.
We're sitting. Water is every time we chug through a wave, like half of the wave comes up into the boat.
Yeah.
And like we're trying to huddle near the back to try to keep the front end. And this isn't a group of like small men by chance that weigh like 100 pounds. No. We're all bigger type dudes, right? So it's like not a good. This doesn't equal out.
No.
Not a good thing.
This is not a good thing. We eventually have to putter back. Like we have to he has to go like really slow. We finally get it back. And we have a conversation with him. I think right when we pull up to the dock to dock this thing.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, this thing keeps sinking, taking on water. It turns into like a water mattress, and this whole works. What comes out of their mouth was, well, we thought it'd be okay. There were some teenagers that ripped the bottom metal piece off there like a couple weekends ago, but it was still floating, so we thought it would be good.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking shitting me right now? We paid you took max price for this. You put us out here on a lake where we could have sunk this because you thought it would be okay. Well, we took it for a small spin. What'd you take it for a spin for? Right around this little open bay area? Because we weren't out there that long before we started sinking this bad boy. I mean, it was a good time and everything. It was a memorable story, but yeah, we thought it'd be good. So I'm like, so a part of this got ripped off. I got caught by like a rock or whatever the hell they said. Like some teenagers it got caught on something.
That is awesome.
But you're okay with sending that out there? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking shitting me? We just all look at him like, just dead face. I'm like, are you what?
Did you get money back?
We did. We only had to pay like a quarter of it or something.
Right. They end up giving us our money back, but that they said that they knew about it.
Yeah.
Was just
it seems like a liability.
Makes sense if you don't think about it.
Makes sense.
You knew about this, right?
Jesus.
And then the propeller, that's what they told us in the first place. Yeah. It's because the propeller wasn't down.
Of course, yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're not boat people, you know what I'm saying?
So much for your tradition of winning, bro.
All right.
Oh
Coastal Carolina, baby.
I knew that one.
Get
I said I'd call Coastal on that one.
Get it.
Before we started. No, we're trying to take shots now.
Yeah, because I heard what you said on air.
Okoboji, baby.
Yeah,
that one was.
And I was correct when I said that.
That was
at that moment.
That was crazy.
I get that. That's insane to me. They just let you roll out.
Yeah, they
just
let us roll out.
Safety issues.
I'm like, you sure
you're good?
Like, lie to us.
Yeah,
right. Like, lie to us. Don't say you knew about it.
That happened. Y'all did it. I don't care.
Yep.
Oh, exactly. At least go the other way. I'm like, oh, what the hell did you guys do to my boat?
Yeah, no kidding.
There's a metal piece missing off the bottom.
Y'all steal it?
Play completely stupid. No.
Yep.
Yeah, we thought it'd be good. They took that under piece off. It's never been a problem before.
Yeah.
You know, where they took the metal pan part. Whatever it was, they took the metal pan part off. I'm like, what?
So here's the deal. They gave you a quarter, or you only had to pay a quarter of the price or whatever. You probably could have got money from them.
Yeah.
Because that's a big...
Well, we weren't ready to...
All you had to do was be like, this fucker can't swim. He almost died out there.
I got it
Because-
right.
we were way too focused on the rest of the bachelor party
Yeah.
and what was it? That was way too early in the to
Yes,
ruin the weekend.
Correct.
I'm just-
But I should have
just
said,
saying.
I should have charged them, been like, I had to use my flipper foot, the other half of the motor to get us back. Right?
Exactly.
On another side note to that
Jesus
one,
Christ.
that's the proudest moment I've ever been of Joey in my life. He took every drink we handed him, and he's not a drinker.
No.
Every drink we handed him, he needed to
He
take
downed
what, a 20-minute lay down. He didn't
Yep.
actually nap. I think we laid down for about 40 minutes in our rooms
We
at the hotel rooms.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you get turned on by the thought of this stuff. I
Thought
get
of a
it.
hotel room.
But we chilled in between that before we went out to the
Yeah.
bars. But he drank like a fish on the boat.
Yeah.
He drank when we went
Went
out to
out.
the bars, and he took everything like a champ. I was so proud
That
of
he
that
did.
cat.
props.
He
to
didn't
Joey.
bitch
Hell
about
yeah.
anything. He didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
So kudos to him.
Hell yeah, that's a good deal.
That it was.
They have bomb burritos, by the way.
They do.
Like
Out there in Okoboji.
yeah, they have this taco truck there. Amazing homemade
Amazing.
burritos. I don't care what's on the taco truck. Don't care.
Let me be honest with you right now. Your opinion about burritos, it doesn't. I'm not that high on it right now because,
Because you don't like that one over
this
there.
this Belmont burrito that you brought me
What?
was not great.
What?
It was not great, Jimmy.
It's good. You don't like
I'm
you
just
don't like
putting it out
beans.
there.
You don't like all kinds of stuff.
There was no beans in it. Remember?
I know. I held that out for you. You don't hold it all in.
I'm
You've
a
had
meat
that
eater,
Belmont
bro.
burrito.
Yeah.
It
Good.
wasn't
Is it
that
good?
All right. We got to now. We
Yeah.
got to unclip his mic.
Wasn't that good, man?
No, he's
Get
an
outta
idiot.
here. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, your opinion on burritos.
I don't know how to make your burrito because you have so many limitations. You and
It's a
Marvin, what you
normal
eat.
Burrito. It's
No,
a
what
normal
you guys
burrito,
eat.
bro.
Oh, I eat like only meat.
Yeah. Your man meat
I don't put
burrito.
anything else in there.
Save that for 3 gigs after dark over there. Like, come on.
No shit.
But this burrito was amazing.
No, I got
100,000%.
Yeah. It is amazing.
I don't think they put. Oh, you'd be right up. It'd be right up your alley. I don't think they put any vegetables in it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like I don't care about salad, spinach, all that stuff, sour cream. I don't care about none of
and
that.
you don't like and you
Burritos
don't-
are burritos. I
and
just don't do refried
And
beans.
you only like all meat
Black beans?
meat pizzas.
What?
You don't eat
Like
a
black
supreme
beans.
pizza.
I don't mind them. Yeah, they're not bad.
He doesn't eat supreme pizza.
That's weird.
He doesn't.
I don't like black olives. You act like it's everything.
No, supreme pizza doesn't have black olives on it.
Yeah. Most of them.
Not all of them. No,
not
no.
all of them, but
No, like
a lot.
Like
do
if I
see
ordered
black
a supreme
olives on.
pizza right now from Casey's, it would not have black olives on it
I've never gotten one from Casey, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know a bunch
because
of
you only
people
do meat. Exactly.
I'm not gonna.
This is what I'm getting at.
choose a
Your
supreme
vegetables.
pizza over
What, we eat a taco
pepperoni,
pizza
bro.
that has
Yeah.
vegetables on it.
Taco's good.
Do you
I
get the
told
lettuce?
you.
Do you
What
hold
are
the lettuce
talking
and
about?
tomatoes off?
Man, you go overboard on this shit. I eat salads. I eat fucking lettuce, spinach, all that bullshit. Okay, is it a preference? No. If I'm at a all-you-can-eat buffet, am I gonna eat a salad,
he
Jimmer? No. Okay.
So he complains about this burrito. I'm sorry, I had lettuce and shit in it, bro.
Yeah.
No, it just wasn't good. The chicken wasn't good. That's what you. And maybe that's a problem. You gave me a chicken one or whatever, but it wasn't. It wasn't that good.
I had a beef one. It was good.
Yeah. I don't. Why the fuck did you give me
had a beef
chicken?
one.
I don't know. Did you have to pay for the burrito? Okay, suck a fat dick.
Was that my burrito? What the hell?
No. No, this is what I went to Belmont myself for.
Oh, where is that place? Oh, okay, well, I got to figure out where the place is. So
It's
I can
right
get
next to
myself-
it's right next to their Casey's.
Oh, okay.
Right on their main street, whatever. Don't worry, Danny doesn't have to go.
Oh yeah, yep,
Because it was horrible.
I won't.
yeah. But you know where? Also, Danny didn't go, and I was sick out of my mind, and he made me go get the meat we all bought.
I did.
Remember, I could barely sit up.
Need that meat right now, huh?
Yeah, we need some more of that actually.
We do. You're going through that fucking hamburger as quick as we are.
Oh yeah.
Just
yeah.
grind up,
Oh, yeah.
grind up your steaks.
With what?
I have a hand grinder. You can have.
His mouth.
Obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, just send them over to my house, and I promise you'll get it back.
You'll
in
get it all
6
back.
to 8 hours.
I'll
It may
even-
not be in the best
I'll even
shape.
tube it for you. So- oh my
All
god.
right, so Danny, I think it's building off a little bit off of some news earlier, but you got the words of wisdom today, do you
Words
not?
of wisdom.
Go
Get it.
take a drink of that Jesus juice you got going on over there.
I do. So, words of wisdom for everybody out there. If you have a specific set of what you would call morals or opinions about certain things, stand by them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I bring this up is because of everything that's going on in all of the different sports world, in the NFL, in hockey even, in the NBA. you're seeing a lot of adjustments go on to the rules that they set forward, in which they said it was for safety and it was the best approach to take, right?
Yep.
But now that some of these rules that they put in place are going to start impacting their checkbooks and impacting viewership and even playoff potential, especially in the NFL, they're making adjustments and they're changing those morals that they put in place because they felt like they set this moral high ground and they're doing things better than what like you or I would do. So if you have such a strong belief and it's a legitimate belief, you don't change that for anything.
Right.
Because that's what you believe. You see that with Kyrie Irving. Oh, he's going to be able to play now. Oh, is that because Kevin Durant is getting way too many minutes, is going to be burnt out by the end of the season, and maybe he won't make the championship?
Did Kyrie buckle on his beliefs?
No.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Keep going.
He didn't at all. I mean, when you look at some of these teams in the NFL, the Rams, the Browns, if they had all of those players out for this week, you could all but guarantee a loss for each of them, right?
Yep.
How big of a deal is
Right.
that?
Not as good a game. Might as well slide them out of the whatever spot they're in.
Yeah.
You know, if they're in a prime spot. So, yeah.
And who's going to want to watch it?
Exactly.
You know? Things like that. But the bottom line is these, we'll call them sporting institutions, are full of shit, okay? And they want you to believe that they're doing the best thing for the health and safety of the players and things like that. And that's not what's happening.
I thought you were talking about my place of work.
Not at all.
Okay.
And you know what?
Pretty damn
you know what?
close.
Let's go bigger picture,
Sounds
Jimmer.
like
That's
my
a great
place of work,
point.
too.
Oh, yours too?
You know, you
Okay.
brought that up. I'll finish my segment.
Not 3 gig, though, because we have our own operating standards
yeah.
here, bro.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I'll finish her off and just say, if you legit have morals and you believe in a certain thing, you stand by it no matter what happens. That's the point.
Absolutely.
That's what you're able to hold yourself accountable to. And what you're seeing out there is not how you want to live your life. If you really believe something, you hold to it. And you know what that tells me? They don't really believe what they're doing.
Right.
And that's a big deal, and I hope
all about
everybody's
money.
paying attention. I
Yep.
really do. Because now, beyond the words of wisdom, that's a way bigger picture. That's not just these institutions. That's every place of employment damn near in the
That
country,
is.
right?
As soon
that's
as-
our government.
As
That's
soon as
everything.
you start getting, as soon as shit starts getting a little pressure, so if we want to ride, so you want to ride safety, and which I'm not mocking that, but ride with it and stick with it, and that's what you actually believe. And if you actually believe it, then mean it. You mean it by everybody needs to get tested, or everyone needs to, and we're gonna do this. And when you do, if you do test positive, you're just gonna be out, and this is what it's gonna be.
Yep.
Right? We want to take care of that. And then we're also going to, you know what, you were around these workers over here. We're not going to necessarily knock them out of the game, but we're going to test you right now to make sure, you know. Not sit there and change the rules. Yep. Literally every time you go back. You know why you change the rules? We don't have enough people here to do the job.
Yeah.
If they can't do the job, we don't make money.
Yep.
Right? You're proving money, and I'm not saying to shut down the country. Obviously, that's hurt us. We are seeing it everywhere, people. So I'm not saying that, but what you're getting at, and I agree with, is if you have the standard and you have the rules, go by it. Believe in it. You don't buckle on your beliefs. For the most part, right? For your everyday beliefs, do you buckle on that?
Nope.
I don't
Your
buckle.
beliefs.
Exactly. I don't buckle on what I believe in.
Yep.
You're not going to get me. Can you educate me on some stuff and help me become a better person? Absolutely. And I can get more educated and build off of it, but you're still building off my foundational morals and what I believe in. You're just helping build that a little bit better and maybe getting more clarity. That's the only thing you're getting.
Yep. And you know, to build off Danny's thing, I don't think, you know, he's saying keep to one, whichever line you're going to ride, just ride it.
Yeah.
Because that's the best thing about the United States is being able to have your morals or your beliefs. So don't be wishy-washy. Just stick with the same thing the whole way.
Stick with it and mean it.
Yep.
Right?
If that's what you truly believe.
If it's what you truly believe.
Right.
If not, then also come out and be like, you know what? We're testing. You like, be blunt. I'm a blunt person. Just put it out there. Like, this is what it is. You know what? I guarantee you, some people might not want to hear that shit. I know that for a fact. People don't want to hear bluntness. But at the end of the day, there'll never be a question on what this person believes. You never have to ask what I believe in because I was blunt about it. And to a certain extent, you're going to respect that a little more than playing the guessing game and then you get your feelings hurt later because you heard through the grapevine. No, you know how I feel. That's what it is.
Yep.
You know, I know how you feel. I know how you feel. We know what our standards are. So stick with it.
Exactly. So many of these big companies are changing their approach and changing the requirements based on how things change, whether it's politically or, in people's opinions and things like that, that it really tells you, like, they're just doing it to make people happy, right? They're just doing it because it's a hot topic.
Yep.
And when you think about the NFL, for example, the NBA, whatever, you've got so many fans in there that you're not testing, but you're worried about these players who are high-level athletes that are the least of the people in the entire world that you need to worry about when it comes to this thing. That it's just like, it really just shows that you're just doing it for a show. You know what I mean? And it really makes people have less faith in the issue that you say is out there right now, that you say is causing, so much harm and pain and things. And not to say that it's not an issue, but is it being overblown? I think so. And I think they're only feeding into it. But that's the big thing for the day. Words of wisdom is just stick to your morals, stick to your beliefs, as Rio so eloquently put it there. But as we close her out, thanks everybody for listening. I did try to get a plug in earlier, so I'm not going to do it again to you. You've already listened for almost 2 hours now. So we appreciate you out there. The podcast is available everywhere you find your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Facebook, the whole 9 yards. Our video is going up regularly, too, on YouTube, so check it out. Rio's got some crazy dance moves.
You know it.
If you haven't seen it, it's pretty great. But, hey, thanks again, guys.
Bill.
This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
From nothing, no hindsight discussions. I've been writing, I love it. City lights, all this down around me, then look, I